Aloha, everybody. It does look like that the market wants to continue its path higher. The Nasdaq closed pretty strong today, but unfortunately, we're still below those 325 highs a day. So technically, we're still under a neutral condition on this index. That being said, things look good. I've got mixed oscillators, MACD going lower, TSV going up. I got stochastics dropping down with just a minor, uptick on the short term. RSI kind of bottoming out. So with the cross currents in the oscillators, and with us still being under neutral condition, it would not be surprising if we do continue to back and fill. Kind of a negative on the day. I got a ton of new long signals yesterday. The good news is that we're already so maxed out that I couldn't even go the full position in any of them. And that turned out to be good news because, oddly enough, out of those 6 long positions, I believe 5 were actually lower today. Ever so minor. None of them gave any sell signals whatsoever. But compared to the market, that's negative divergence. So we'll have to continue to monitor that. The good news is, though, out of the speculative stocks, there was one that was up alone 37% today, and at one point up over 45%. And too bad we can't get those returns every day, huh? On 100% of our account capital. But the good news is that at least something did work. But the market looks good. Nothing really to psychoanalyze about that here. S&P 500, same similar situation. We're not above those 325 high day. 2091 close is not above 2097, so it's still neutral. MACD, TSV different, stochastics, RSI different, so nothing really to take away from that. The Russell 2000, this is probably why our new longs were down. The Russell 2000 actually lagged today. It was down 0.29%. Volume was about break even on this index, so no real distribution. And once again, we got some mixed oscillators, so there's real no making heads or tails of the situation we're in. And one market that continues to go absolutely insane is China. This thing is going full on parabolic. It's crazy because this is a stock market index. I've never seen this outside of Zimbabwe before their country collapsed. China's obviously not collapsing, but my God, their stimulus must be huge because looking at this chart right here, if you showed me this chart and told me this was a stock chart, I'd say sell all of your shares or take your profits and run because that looks like you're at the top of Mount Everest. And you can't take a rocket ship straight up forever. Eventually you have to come back, and normally when a rocket ship runs out of fuel, there's only one way it comes back to Earth, and that's by crashing. So we'll see what happens here, but hell, who's to say that this can't get more parabolic? Who's to say YINN can't go test the 100 level before this is all said and done? So I don't recommend shorting, but my God, what an incredible market move we have going on there. But getting back to our own market, going over our sell positions, I'm going off memory here, but HNT is producing another 25% sell signal, confirming the 20-day moving average break sell-off. It's still above the 50-day moving average. I'm already out of half of it with yesterday's move below one of my sell stop levels. And like I said, my final sell stop levels here in March. What I'm now going to do is take that final sell stop, split it in half, put half of it below this low a day here, and the other half below where it was in March, and then that's it for H&T. Also, AFAM, I was going to make it a 20% sell yesterday. God damn it, that's what I should have done, but I didn't. No big deal. Down a little bit more today, finally below the 10-day moving average on above average volume. That is a 10% sell signal. And then going back to our stock that's up big, VLTC, because it is so speculative, even though it is only about $1,000 in my account put in this one total, we're going to go ahead and take 25% profits here because being up 37% in one day is right now all I can think of best case scenario for VLTC. But still, I would have thought that back here when it was up 68% in one day just a couple of days ago, another 27% later, looks like I'm wrong. Now, if you remember, our initial long signal was back here 1, 2, 3, 5 days ago, and in 5 days the stock is now up 115%. My limits would not have been hit, so it's all a moot point, but just interesting to know. We got some big movers out there. And then also 50% sell, brand new recent long. So this isn't good. This is not a good sign. Not only did our new long positions not work, but the day before we had 2 new long positions, and one of them is half-ass failing. SSNC is closing below the low a day of its signal date, but it's still holding above all key support levels. The 4.6, the 4.1, the 331, and the 325, 326. But the fact that it's closing below that signal date on strong volume, that's a 50% sell. You can raise half your sell stops up to right here, and then the other half below this low a day on 325, because the stock could still work out, but what do you know? And then KE, I'm already fully out of it. It hit my final sell stop whenever it moved below the low a day back here on the 31st. This is now on a closing end of day basis a full sell. So if you're not already out of KE, it's got to go. Only one new long position tonight in the high quality accounts, FANG, Diamondback Energy Incorporated. This is a pre-perfect speculator scan quality stock. This is also a favorite of our number 2 in the chat room, Chris, and Paul, our number 3 guy, loves it too. So pretty good confirmation there. If we're wrong, we don't risk much, right around 3.5%. On a 2.5% of account capital position. Once again, in the cash account, I obviously won't be able to do that. And then we also got an add signal in CDK Global. CDK Global's been kind of volatile since its original long signals back here in March, but it looks like it's trying to get a floor, move higher again. BOP's been slowly turning around. Volume surge today, pocket pivot point signal, as CDK looks like it wants to retake its 50-day moving average. Looks good. Once again, we don't risk much if we're wrong. If we are wrong, we risk about 2%. If you go all the way to the low day of this day, you risk about 3%. Not too bad for a potential, if we just look at this measured move back in October, let's pretend like this would happen again. You got a 66% risk or reward to about a 3% risk. Those are excellent odds. It's over 20 to 1. I'll take it any day. And then also we got a couple of specs if you want to take them. VCell, why the hell not? Max Green BOP over 5 days, bouncing right off 50-day moving average. Biotechnology stock under some recent accumulation. Sure, why not? Poke it. And then EGRX. This is bought by our amazing female trader in our chat room. She's in Israel, and she's a big fan of this stock, and she's an excellent trader, and I tell you what, that's good confirmation for me. Max Green BOP, heavy volume breakout. Wanted to get long it back here, passed on it because I'm an idiot. And here we go again. So it looks like we got a good add signal, because this time if we're wrong, we only risk 6%, whereas the last signal you had to risk at least 12% before we knew that we were wrong, and that's a lot of risk. But once again, 1% of the account value in VCEL and EGRX if you decide to play them. The good ones, FANG 2.5%, CDK 2% add, 1% for being a CanSlim quality stock, and another 1% just because it's an IPO.